Good morning, students. Students, as you know, in our previous lecture, we were discussing with you the molecular orbital theory and the molecular energy level diagram. In that, we gave the energy level sequence for writing the molecular orbital configuration. Now, here I will be starting my lecture from there itself. I told you with Z greater than 7 for Z greater than 7. What was the energy level sequence? The energy level sequence was sigma 1s was less than sigma anti-bonding 1s, which is less than sigma 2s, which is less than sigma anti-bonding 2s. And if you remember, I told you, then we will have sigma 2pz. It will be less than sigma 2pz, which will be less than pi 2px, which will be equal to pi 2py, which again will be less than pi anti-bonding 2px, which will be equal to pi anti-bonding 2py, which will be less than sigma anti-bonding 2pz. I hope you remember this. Example of the molecules like oxygen, O2 positive, O2 negative, etc. Now for Z less than 7, if we consider the molecule for Z less than 7, so for Z if less than 7, then Z less than 7 or Z equal to 7. The molecular orbital energy level sequence was sigma 1s was less than sigma anti-bonding 1s, which is less than sigma 2s, which is less than sigma anti-bonding 2s. Can see over here, which will be less than pi 2px, which was equal to pi 2py, equal to pi 2py, less than pi anti-bonding pi 2px, pi 2py, which is less than sigma 2pz, which was bonding molecular orbital, less than sigma 2pz, which is less than pi anti-bonding 2px, which will be equal to pi anti-bonding 2py, which again will be less than sigma anti-bonding 2pz molecular orbital. Do you remember this? Yes or no? Then I also told you how to find out the bond order. Bond order was equal to half into number of electron in bonding molecular orbital minus number of electron in anti-bonding molecular orbital. Bond order was defined as the number of covalent bonds formed in the molecule. And if you remember, if the bond order is greater than 0, if bond order is greater than 0, then molecular formation exists, is possible. Then molecule formation is possible. Molecule formation is possible. And the formation of the molecule is possible. But if bond order is less than 0, then the molecule formation is not possible. If a molecule have unpaired electron, then it will be paramagnetic in nature. If molecule have unpaired electrons, if a molecule have unpaired electrons, then that molecule will be paramagnetic in nature. Molecule will be paramagnetic. If molecule have paired electron, then molecule will be dimagnetic in character. Then that molecule will be dimagnetic in character. Is it clear? Now suppose we have to write down the molecular orbital configuration for a nitrogen molecule. Which configuration we will be using? This. And we will also be making a molecular orbital diagram. Now in nitrogen, atomic number of nitrogen is 7. How many atoms of nitrogen are here? 2. So what will be the total number of electrons to be distributed? This will be 14. In the distribution of electron, all the rules, Hund's rules, Aufbau principle and the Pauli's exclusion principle is to be followed. Nitrogen, number of electrons 14. So it will be sigma 1s and this will be 2 electron, which will be less than sigma anti-bonding 1s and this again will be 2 electron, which will be less than sigma 2s, which again will be having a 2 electron, which will be less than sigma anti-bonding 2s and this again will be having a 2 electron. 1s, sigma anti-bonding 1s, sigma 2s, sigma anti-bonding 2s. Then it will be less than pi 2px and this again will be having a 2 electrons, which again will be equal to pi 2py. This will be equal to pi 2py and this again will be having a 2 electron. Just count how many electrons are distributed over here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. After this comes sigma 2pz. So next will be sigma 2pz and then this will be having a 2 electron. So this is how the 14 electrons are distributed. Am I getting it clear or not, student? Nitrogen, how many electrons are to be distributed? 14. Because one nitrogen atom contains 7 electrons. So total number of electrons here to be distributed. Total number of electrons here to be distributed will be equal to 14. Is it clear? Now, if I ask you to make the energy level diagram for this one, how will I make the energy level diagram for this one? There will be 2 nitrogen atom. Nitrogen, atomic number is 7. If I make the nitrogen, atomic number will be 7 and electronic configuration, if I write down for nitrogen, just see over here. Nitrogen atomic number is 7. So configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, then 2p, 2p3 will be the molecular, will be the electronic configuration of nitrogen. How will we make the molecular orbital diagram of this? Just see very carefully. This is 1s orbital and this is 1s orbital of another nitrogen. So we have 1s and 1s orbital of one nitrogen atom. Is it getting clear? Yes. How many electrons are distributed over here? 2. How many electrons are distributed over here? 2. Is it clear? Next will be 2s2. These are the atomic orbitals I am making. Then 2s2. This will be 2s2. How many electrons are distributed over here? 2. Here again 2. Here 2 and here again 2. Then we have 2p orbital. 2px, 2py and 2pz. This was sigma 2pz. Now if we consider this one. Then another one. This will be this way. Is it getting clear? Yes and no, student? You may see I have written the electronic configuration of this and arrange the atomic orbital in increasing order of energy. Now, when the atomic orbital combines with each other, they may combine with bonding, mean to say addition or subtraction. Just see, this is 1s atomic orbital of one hydrogen, one nitrogen. This is 2s atomic orbital and this is 2p. In 2p orbital, how many electrons are there? 3. This is 1, 2 and 3. This is 1s of another nitrogen atom. This is 2s of another nitrogen atom, and this will be 2p. This again will be having a 3 electron. In the opposite spin, now when they combine, they may combine to form bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. How? Just see very carefully. This 1s and 1s may combine to form a bonding molecular orbital. This is sigma 1s and anti-bonding molecular orbital. The energies of anti-bonding molecular orbital will be slightly higher than the atomic orbital. This is sigma anti-bonding 1s. Yes or not? Now the 2s orbital will combine. When 2s orbital combine, it will also result in the formation of a bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. When 2s orbital combine, it will result in the formation of sigma bonding 2s. This is sigma 2s and sigma anti-bonding 2s. You may see over here, and sigma anti-bonding 2s. Here again there are 2 electrons. Here there were 2 electrons. So when 1s combine, it results in the formation of bonding, and when an anti-bonding molecular orbital. Similarly, when 2s combine, it resulted in the formation of bonding and the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now, if the combination of 2p atomic orbital takes place, how will it take place? In the p atomic orbital, this will be px, py. This will be 1 electron, 1 electron, 1 electron. Here again 1 electron, this again will be 1 electron, and this again will be 1 electron. When they combine with each other, how the formation of the bond will take place? See over here. When p orbital combine, these are having 1 electron each. It will result in the formation of pi 2px and pi 2py. So first of all, it will combine to form pi 2px and pi 2py orbital. Both will be bonding. So this will be pi 2px and pi 2py. Then we will have sigma 2pz. So this will be a sigma 2pz orbital. Can you see, student? I am following a molecular orbital configuration. 1s combined forms sigma 1s and sigma antibonding 1s. 2s combined forms sigma 2s and sigma antibonding 2s. When p combine, this is 2p orbital, and this again is 2p orbital. When it combines, it results in the formation of pi 2px, pi 2py, which are of the equivalent energy, and sigma 2pz. You will see over here. Then they may combine with each other to form the anti-bonding molecular orbital. And in anti-bonding molecular orbital, first of all, we will get pi anti-bonding 2px and pi anti-bonding 2py. So this is pi anti-bonding 2px and pi anti-bonding 2py. And then it will be sigma anti-bonding 2pz orbital. This will be sigma anti-bonding 2pz. Sigma anti-bonding 2pza orbital. This is how it is to be written over here. Am I getting it clear for you or not, student? This will be sigma 2pz. Now, let me distribute the electron in this molecular orbital so form. First, 2 electrons will go into sigma bonding and then sigma anti-bonding. Here there will be 2 electrons in sigma bonding and anti-bonding. You may see over here. Yes. Then these 2 electrons will be in sigma 2s and sigma 2s anti-bonding. So in sigma bonding there will be 2 electrons. Sigma anti-bonding there will be 2 electrons. Is it getting clear to you? Then pi 2px and pi 2py. How many electrons? 2. Pi 2px and pi 2py. And sigma 2pz will be having a 2 electron. Is it getting clear? Now, if you find out the bond order, just see very carefully, student. It will be equal to half into number of electron in bonding minus half into number of electron in anti-bonding molecular orbital. bond order over here will be equal to half into number of electron in bonding minus number of electron in anti-bonding molecular orbital. And this will come to be equal to half. How many in bonding? 2. Then 4, 6, 8, 10. So this will be 10. Minus anti-bonding 2, 4 and 2 and 4. So minus 4. So this will come to be equal to 3. So you may see over here, nitrogen will be having a 3 covalent bond. So nitrogen molecule is written in this form. Now see one thing. By the convention in the chemistry, this can also be written as, these are the inner shell, which can be written as KK. So configuration over here can also be written as K and K. These are the kernel core, inner core. Then sigma 2s in the book and in the other, and mostly the configuration is written in this form. Then we have sigma anti-bonding 2s, and this will be 2 electrons. Then we have pi 2px, which will be equal to pi 2py. It will be equal to pi 2py, and this will be having a 2 electron. Then we have sigma 2pz. Am I getting clear, student? So in that condition, while making the molecular orbital diagram, you need not show this form 1s, because it is being represented by K and K. But if in this case, because the number of electrons over here are equal, so you may also write over here as K and K and then show from here this way. Is it clear? In that condition, if I find out the bond order, I will be calculating the number of bonding and anti-bonding molecular electrons from here. It will be 2, 4, 6 and 2, 8. How many electrons in the bonding molecular orbital? 8. Anti-bonding 2. You may see over here, these are the anti-bonding. Here again the bond order comes to be 3, and this will be written as N triple bond N. Am I getting it clear? Yes. So either you make the complete molecular orbital diagram, or to the K shell or to the 1s orbital you may represent by the KK shell. This is how the molecular orbital diagrams are to be made. If you represent these by KK shell, then the molecular orbital diagram will be from here to here. Otherwise, it will be from here to here. If we calculate from here, the bond order will be 3. Here again it will be 3. But here the bonding was 10. Here the number of electron in the bonding molecular orbital was 8. Anti-bonding was 4. Here the number of electron in the anti-bonding comes to be 2. Am I getting clear? Now suppose if you are asked to write down the molecular orbital configuration of N2 positive. N2 positive means total number of electrons will be 13. Am I getting clear? So here the total number of electrons will be 13. How many electrons will be there? This will be equal to 13. So here if I write down the configuration, it will be K and K, and then sigma, this will be 2s, and this will be 2. Then we have sigma anti-bonding 2s, and this again will be 2. This will be pi and 2px, and this again will be 2. This will be equal to pi 2py, and this again will be equal to 2. And then over here it will be sigma 2pz1. Am I getting clear? So in this case, if I write down the number of electrons in bonding 2, 4, 6 and 1, 7. So bond order over here will be equal to half into 7 minus 2, and this will come out to be equal to 2.5. Similarly, in N2 negative form, this will be same K and K, this will be sigma 2s, and the electron will be 2. Then sigma anti-bonding 2s, and over here the number of electrons will be 2. Then pi 2px, and the number of electrons over here will be 2, which will be equal to pi 2py, and the number of electrons over here will be 2. This will be sigma 2pz, this will be 2, and then pi 2px anti-bonding having 1 electron, which will be equal to pi anti-bonding 2py with no electron. Here in this case, if I find out the bond order, just see over here, bond order, this is equal to half into how many electron in the bonding molecular orbital? These are 2, 4, 6, 8. This will be 8. And anti-bonding 1 has increased. So 8 minus 3. So this again will be equal to 2.5. Now see very carefully. In nitrogen molecule, what is the bond order? 3. In N2 positive, what is the bond order? 2.5. In N2 negative, what is the bond order? 2.5. In the board examination, question will be asked, or in the examination question will be asked, arrange them in the decreasing order of stability. So higher the bond order, higher is the stability. Nitrogen will be more stable as compared to N2 positive and N2 negative. You may ask, so why N2 positive is more stable than N2 negative, although both are having a same bond order? The reason is because in N2 negative, one extra electron is present in the anti-bonding molecular orbital. And in the anti-bonding molecular orbital, there is more repulsion as compared to the bonding molecular orbital. So definitely N2 negative will be less stable as compared to N2 positive, as N2 positive will be having less energy than N2 negative. Am I clear? So I again repeat, if the electron is in anti-bonding molecular orbital, it will experiences more of the repulsion, due to which its stability will decrease and it will be relatively having higher energy than N2 positive. Am I clear? So this is how the molecular orbital configuration and the energy level diagram for nitrogen molecule is made. Now I am giving you a work, student, and the question is, write down the molecular orbital configuration and make the molecular orbital diagram of O2. The question is, write molecular orbital configuration. Write molecular orbital configuration and make molecular orbital diagram and make for or configuration for O2, O2 positive and O2 negative. Fine. Arrange them in decreasing order of stability. Arrange them in decreasing order of stability. Arrange them in the decreasing order of stability. Is it clear? You may also try by making the molecular orbital diagram. Am I getting clear? So this is something about the energy level diagram of a molecules and the molecular orbital configuration. You try for oxygen, O2 positive and O2 negative. Almost a same concept will be applied, other than the fact this sequence of energy level will be followed. Is it clear? So with this I am summing up the lecture. Now in my syllabus of this chemical bonding, which is a very big chapter in the syllabus, the concept of resonance and hydrogen bonding is only left. Maybe in the next lecture I may complete this. If you have any problem in writing down this molecular orbital configuration, you may please ask a problem. But try out, student. It will be easy for you. I hope you will be doing your work. We will be meeting again in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.